Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at new holdings. It is time for another update, and on this chart we seem to have managed to advance on our way in the fifth wave to the upside in this area, where in the previous video we had not yet formed an additional high and we were still under some threat to return into the area of support and even create a reset of the wave 4, but clearly this wasn't the case. We are most likely already completing here the fifth wave to the upside, although of course extensions are still possible. I am very wary of a full pattern already being in place, since we are looking at a larger leading diagonal to be forming, where in this fifth wave to the upside we only need to form an ABC structure for a full complete scenario of this overall movement that we have been tracking, this overall trend movement within a larger wave 1 to the upside. And in that case we can already look for a potential area of support, where again I don't need a top to already be in place. We could be tracking potential extensions, but those would not be high probability interpretations, and in case of failure of such scenarios we need to be prepared for a much deeper retracement here, and in this case it would be into the area of support for the wave 2 between the $9.3 all the way down to the $4.7 level at the 78.6% retracement. Yeah, this is what we are looking in case this movement to the upside, this larger wave 1, has already formed a more significant top. Now with that said, we didn't get here the extension we were looking for potentially in the previous video, and that is fine. It wasn't necessary. It was just to allow this chart to still work out as an impulse, and it would have allowed us to be tracking the potentially most bullish case, the most bullish scenario. And that would have always been the first scenario to fail. It would have always been the likely scenario that would have failed first if we weren't getting into those structures, into those very, very strong movements to the upside. So right now, what I am tracking in this area are a couple of ideas. So I am once again looking here for an ABC structure to the upside within the wave 5, and I could consider the wave A top to be here or here. Yeah, in both cases it works out. But it wouldn't necessarily make me track an additional 4-5 pattern in this area. It would really only be to work out within the same scenario, where I would actually kind of have to assume that this could be the fifth to the upside. Now, it is not necessary, but based also on the internal movements, internal structures within this wave 5, I believe it is most likely the case. And I would have to say, even in this wave C, we are also looking at an ending diagonal where this was a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and now a fifth wave to the upside, where yeah, even within this wave 5 we are only looking for a 3-wave structure to have a complete count, to have a complete pattern. And in such a case, yeah, this would be an ABC movement, and we wouldn't actually need too many movements to still to the upside to consider a top, where I would enjoy to see an additional high within this area. But it is not necessarily the highest probability interpretation for me, and within this A, B, C structure I will be tracking this pattern to the upside right now as a 1, 2, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and then a fifth wave, where I would actually also prefer that a wave 4 bottom is already in place. And we can even track here an area of support for such interpretations, where the last level here would be the 61.8% retracement. The $16.2 level would be the signal for me that this structure is likely not going to extend here in a fifth wave to the upside. Now, other interpretations may still work out, but they wouldn't be high probability scenarios, and they wouldn't be worth tracking for us because yeah, there are so many options here in the market. It would honestly be a pity to get lost into a difficult structure within a specific chart when, yeah, again, there are so many options. I'm honestly not even looking for a trade setup in this area. This is what I am tracking for potential continuation to the upside as the most likely scenario, and as I was mentioning, it is not needed. We could consider this movement to the upside already done, and it is not uncommon within a wave C of a fifth wave, of a larger wave C, of a larger fifth wave, to get an early completion, to not get the last movement, the last leg up. Could be a failure, could have been here a truncation. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much, and I would be watching out for further possible extensions to the downside, where honestly we may have even formed here a 3-wave move down in a 1, 2, 3, where I could argue that we should be watching out for a wave 4 correction to the upside and then a fifth wave that could still occur to the downside. And that would be here if we form our initial 5-wave move to the downside, the first confirmation that a more significant top would already be in place, where we would need to be watching for, after this 5-wave move down, a 3-wave move correction, and then another 5-wave move to the downside. And in that case, we can even watch here for resistance at the levels between, but this would be for an impulse, and in this case, the levels between the $16.7 all the way up to the $17 level, where even here we pushed perfectly into the 50% retracement a couple of times and we got rejected. And we need to be watching out for a potential 5-wave move to the downside. This is a high threat on this chart right now, in my opinion. And if we get this, it is a signal that we should be prepared for even further continuation lower. Even if we don't break here the area of support, even if we hold within this wave 5, the 61.8% retracement, I would already be looking for a potential 1-2 setup, or at least an A-B setup, which suggests we should be looking for another low, at least another low. Now, with that said, so far in the white scenario here, we did also hold the 50% retracement. We only had a brief open below it, and we can be looking for a potential fifth wave to the upside, where again, we are looking for an ABC structure within this area as well, but we only have a 3-wave move to the upside, and there isn't anything reliable that has formed just yet. Maybe here in the 15-minute time frame, but honestly, this is too distorted to have any reliable interpretation be allowed in this area. So for now, I won't go any deeper than this, and for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.